What's up guys, Blue Sun JRPGs here, back with part 2 of the JRPGs I've always wanted to play. If you haven't seen part 1, check the description, I'll post a link to that video down there. And then also, if you guys do like the video, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I put up more JRPG content all the time. But the first game that we have is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Most people will have been familiar with this game. A lot of JRPG fans will have already played this game. But you guys know, if you watch my channel, I am fairly younger than a lot of you guys, so I didn't grow up with the Super Nintendo. And that is a shame because there were so many classics on that system that I wish I played when I was younger. But unfortunately I didn't. And right now the prices are ridiculous. But this game here, this really was Square's first attempt getting into the North American market, aside from the Final Fantasy games. And this really got a lot of Westerners into JRPGs, because you put those Mario characters in there, and that gets the casual gamer, the person who's not out there seeking out Tales games, Final Fantasy games, Dragon Quest games. This puts JRPGs into the consoles, or into the households of many people who just didn't play these type of games. So that was really groundbreaking for the genre. From what I've heard about this game too, it's one of the best JRPGs actually on the genre. On the system. You know that anything Square did back then was going to be gold. So I'm super excited about this game. I want to pick this up someday. I don't know when I'll get to pick it up. It is super expensive. I may just pick it up on the Nintendo Virtual Console at some point. But either way guys, definitely a game that I want to check out sooner rather than later. Then moving on to the second game we have on our list, it's actually another game by Square, and also for the SNES, and that is of course The Secret of Mana. Now if you guys are familiar with my channel, or if you follow JRPGs really closely, you'll know that there's actually a remake of this game coming out for the PS4 and the Vita. But you know, I really want to go back and play this one. I think the style in this one actually looks a lot better than the remake. That's just me. And I do think that there is an advantage actually playing the original, because that seems to be the one that people usually prefer. A good example of that would be Chrono Trigger on the PS1. A lot of people didn't care for that version of the game. And there's numerous other examples as well where people just don't care for the remakes or remasters. Now this game is expensive as well. Pretty much everything on the SNES is expensive nowadays. I think this is about a $60 game, $70 game, don't quote me on that exactly. But it's definitely on the pricier side. In this game, I mean, it looks like the prototypical classic JRPG. You know, I really wish I was able to play these games when I was younger. This just takes you back to the roots of JRPGs. I mean, anybody who's a fan of the genre, I mean, you can even just see the clips, and the game just looks spectacular. And then when you hear people's reviews on how highly they hold this game too, I mean, that just feeds into it as well. But either way, guys, definitely a classic JRPG that I definitely need to get to sooner rather than later. And then the final JRPG on this list, it's not even technically a JRPG, but I'm taking some creative license, and that is, of course, Rule of Rose for the PlayStation 2. Super expensive game. We're talking about $200 here. Ridiculously expensive. It shouldn't be that much. But I guess supply and demand, right? I actually saw this game for $5, and I told some guy, you know, I was like, this game's worth $200, but I'll give you $60. And he was like, sure, that's fine. That sounds cool. Thank you so much for telling me about that. And then I basically arranged to meet the guy. I never heard from the guy again. I can't blame the guy. I shouldn't have told him. I should have just bought the game for $5, but that's what I get for trying to do the right thing. But you guys will know, Rule of Rose, probably the most sought after game on the PlayStation 2. Just a super cool game, horror game by Atlas. I mean, there's really not much to say about it. I think it looks awesome, and definitely one of the games that I want to check out. I had never heard of this game when the PS2 was coming out. That seems like a lot of the things about these classic games. I never heard about them when they were actually cheap and available. That's my luck, I guess. But either way, guys, let me know what JRPGs or RPGs or games in general you guys want to play. Let me know if you guys think Square or Atlas is actually better. But either way, guys, massive thanks for checking out the video. If you did make it through this far, you guys are definitely awesome, and I appreciate all you guys. Peace out. Blue Suns.